y'all. Welcome back to Relationship Talk with Lois. I'm Thais.
I'm Courtney.
And we're back again with another review of Married at First Sight, Season 12. This is episode, what? We at? 14? You can't keep up. This episode is, they always have that one episode where they kind of go back and look at each other's past to see, get to know them a little bit more, see where they come from. So we're going to start out with Erik and Virginia. So Erik went back to his childhood home and was showing pictures of him when he was a kid and showing Virginia his like military medals that he got. But I was like, Virginia, why she made that comment about the boy medals? Talk about, is that like when you're in Boy Scout and you get the Boy Scout patches? I was like, how you gonna equate his military medals to Boy Scout patches? That's so like insensitive. Like, you know how hard he probably had to work for those medals? Like, seriously.
That's why he was like, hey, this is a little bit different than that.
Exactly. And she was basically complaining about the fact that he's saying, oh, and I was like, why is she crying? He said that family is so important, but then he's not doing anything to like get to know her family, but she's doing stuff to get to know his family.
So the things that I am doing, why not are you doing? That's what she was saying. The flip side of it, Erik is like, hey, I look at marriage as having these type of standards. I'm not saying no more.
Why? Anyway,
why?
What? Say what you gotta say. Say what you gotta say.
I haven't blamed Erik, and I won't blame him yet. He got a little faults, but who is bringing stuff to the table is Virginia.
They both got their own
She
stuff.
showed her
in different
behind
ways.
throughout this whole episode. She just showed her behind.
All I gotta say is, Erik, I get his point of view when he was talking about, you know, there's certain things that is required that you shouldn't think that we shouldn't even have a conversation about this part of the marriage. Like, you go and stay at your friend's house overnight and I'm home. That don't make sense. Like, to even think that I'm going to stay at my male friend's house and my husband's home. And I'm like, Virginia, you got a whole bunch of time when he's not there to do what you got to do. I do see her point with that a little bit, but it's just like inappropriate. It's just not appropriate for you to be staying at your male friend's house.
So
and
why would you
instead
say,
of going home to your husband?
why would you say I do get her point, but it's inappropriate?
I get her point. She's saying that it doesn't matter. You should still trust me. And it's not, I don't think it's about him not trusting her. It's just not something you should be doing or even consider when you're married. That shouldn't be a thought that, oh, I'm going to go stay at, if I get drunk, too drunk. Don't get drunk. That solves that problem. Like, if I get too drunk, she started coming up with old crazy scenarios. I was like, you just trying to make an excuse to
That's what he said. I think
do what you want to do.
I think he's the one that said, like, what are you getting all of these scenarios? I didn't. I feel bad for both of them, but I feel bad more for Erik because he, to me, is the one that's been bending and making the relationship work more than Virginia, because Virginia is just coming up and just like, and just, I can't say making up stuff, but she is causing a strain on the relationship. Just because he has his standards of marriage and he's been repeating it more than he should, but the reason he's repeating it is because she keeps dismissing it. And that's not good. I mean, he said, yo, it's 5 reasons or that's supposed to be standard in my relationship that I think I need. And she can't come up with one. I think, you know what? Everything is free. Let's not do this drinking party. Well, you don't need to be married.
I think one thing I do say that when he was talking to her dad and the dad was giving some advice, was like, he was saying that everybody's marriage is different. And you have a certain standard. I think he has a certain standard in his mind because of the example that he has seen. His parents been married for a long time. They have a specific way that their marriage works. He probably look at his brother's marriage and see a specific way that marriage is. And he's looking for that same standard. But he has to realize Virginia is not like his mom, and Virginia is not like his sister-in-law.
Yep.
She is not going to bend and conform to that type of a woman. So you're either going to adjust to the wife that you have, or like the relationship's not going to work.
But how are you going to adjust? And you got to see what you're adjusting to.
They both have to adjust in some way.
She is not like, okay, right? Did they even complete that assignment? Write down.
No, they just started arguing.
I wonder why.
They started arguing before they even got to that assignment.
Why?
But I think he's trying to recreate the marriage that he's seen with his parents. And he can't do that because they're not the same people. And the dad was saying, you know, every marriage is different. What works for somebody else might not work for you. And you can't recreate that. You have to kind of figure out how this marriage is going to work for you too.
Okay.
He has to bend a little bit. She has to bend. I tell you, and don't mention that girl liquor. Once you mention her, anything that got to do with liquor is just out the window. That's what it is. Okay, and the assignment was a good assignment. They should just went and did the assignment instead of just discuss it, because that's what caused the argument.
Would you see him working with Virginia? Because she's just saying, hey, I want to be free. Right? Like, what is she coming up? What is she coming to the table with? I mean, honestly, what is she coming to the table with? People got to come with their expectations. What is her expectations?
She's expecting to still live the same type of life that she was as single as a married woman. The only difference is that now you have somebody permanent in your life. But she doesn't want to change her socializing, want to be the same. Hanging out, she wants to be the same. She has to realize it's got to be an adjustment, but she doesn't know how to switch.
A cat she want right there. That dog.
You can't ask the girl to give up her animals.
Nobody ain't saying I'm talking about where do he fit in at?
She said he got to work his way up to the different. She know those people for 10 years. She just met him a couple weeks. Mm-hmm. He got to wait. He got to earn that trust in her mind. She was being a little bit unreasonable with the whole staying at the friend house. Like, get off of that and like focus on. But I have to say, I have to give her a little bit of credit. The fact that she's trying to get to know his family and putting out the effort, and he's not putting out the effort as much. To her credit, if I'm trying to get to know your family, I'm thinking beyond these 8 weeks that we're going to be together.
It's the wrong thing
I'm just saying. But my thing is, like, you only have 8 weeks, so forget about trying to learn and build a relationship with a family. Focus on you two. But then on the flip side, speaking to the family will give you a different outlook and an insight on the person that you're married to. So it's like,
okay. If you was having, if you was in that relationship and you was having arguments, mm-hmm. Will you be trying to reach out to my family, getting to know me, but yet and still you really don't know me, and we got 8 weeks to
I'll be trying to
say,
get
hey, to decision day?
A different point of view. Like, we're butting heads. How does he usually handle conflict? Like, how do I get him to, like, you know, break down his guard or be more vulnerable? That's the kind of thing you talk to the family about. And they will give you insight, and then now you can try to use that and try to get a little closer.
The sister-in-law did say his brother is practically the same, and mm-hmm. They put up a wall. But I don't see the wall that he's putting up.
I think the wall for him is when he does the ultimatums. And he was like, well, that's it. That's the wall. That's where he shuts stuff down. That's what I think. It's not literally like, you know, I'm not saying anything. When he says, that's it, I'm done, that's his wall. He's shutting everything down.
Okay, gotcha.
I think that's it. All right, anything else on that?
Nope.
All right, let's move on to Haley and Jacob. Now, this episode, we found out some things. I'm like, where them clips been? Like, how come we ain't seen those clips before? I'm like, now, Haley, girl. First of all, let's start with the whole date that they had at the batting cage. When she took him there, I guess, because she was always into sports. And we found a little bit about Haley. She's like, she was playing Little League or whatever, baseball, softball for girls, as they say. She didn't want to wear the helmet. I'm like, she was like 4 years old?
Mm-hmm.
She didn't want to wear a helmet.
Yeah.
All right. Took swimming class. Didn't want to go in the pool. She just laid out in the sun. And I'm like, he called her a diva. And I was like, you're not a diva.
Point.
Like, she was like, I was just strong-minded. No, you was a diva, entitled. It just shows what type of person she is. She got away with whatever she wanted to when she was a child. She was spoiled. She feels entitled. And then now, when she's an adult, it's the same thing. Jacob was dropping some hints and some metaphors as they were going on their dates. I was like, Jacob, them little shade. He was dropping shade here, a little shade there, a little shade there. I said, I know you was a petty man, Jacob.
Well, you're not petty. That's not petty.
He was just dropping a little. I was like, come on, Jacob. The whole thing with the stroke. He says, all the stroke. I don't know if she was catching on to them, though. That's the thing. She's just so self-absorbed. Like, she was so focused on the fact that he didn't have, like, leisure attire on to go play baseball. That's what he wears. Who cares? If he's comfortable what he has on, he's comfortable what he has on. And she was like, that's what you wear to your job? And you didn't get fired?
You didn't get fired?
Like, she focused in on the outfit. Now, I would have focused on the outfit, too. I'm not going to lie. But the thing is, you will see what type of person he is. Like, if you're going to wear that to your job thing, and he was like, everybody just laughed. They had a good time. It shows that this is his personality. He doesn't really care. He does stuff just to be goofy, just for people to laugh. And the fact that if he's going to wear it at his job, his coworkers know him. Oh, that's just Jacob. He's just doing that just to be silly and stuff like that. She was like, that doesn't look comfortable. But I was like, Jacob was looking real fit in that outfit. His legs was looking muscular, like he just did some, what y'all do, dips or whatever?
She meant to say squat.
Squats.
We're going to edit that. No, we're not.
He looked like he just did about 50 squats. I was like, oh, Jacob, okay. And he was looking good every time. Every outfit he had on, he looked good. He looked put together. The boots, though, I can't with the boots with the holes. He looked like he done wore them boots for a while.
His favorite boots.
But beyond that, I was like...
He had them in his teens. Like,
he had it in the 80s.
But
other than the boots, he was looking decent every time. And I was just like, the one question that she had with Dr. Pepper was like, why don't you wear leisure? Like, that's the question you have to ask. That was so, like... I was like, Haley, really? That was so trivial, really not important. Why is that a question you're asking? But
my man went out, bought her.
Oh, we get back to the bracelet.
Bought her a bracelet. I thought he said $300 at first.
$800.
Then it turned to $800.
But wait.
Wow.
Before that, though, this is back to Petty Jacob. He asked the question. He was leading up to that because he know what he was doing. What would you tell yourself the night before getting married? And he thought about it. He knew he wanted to bring this daggone bracelet up. He was like, I'm not going to say it. I was like, I'm just going to say it. I would have told myself to return the bracelet. And I was like, what bracelet? I don't even remember that way back with that. They probably showed that scene of
that
her getting the bracelet. And I'm like, she said, oh, I thought it was a necklace. First of all, ladies, now, if you get a gift, you're going to take that gift out of the box and like look at it. So you would know if it was a bracelet or a necklace. That's number one. So obviously she probably just didn't like it to begin with. That's just my take on it. Now, you got a gift from this man that you just got married to. Made a nice gesture, gave you a gift. You just gave him a hat that you probably pick up at the airport or wherever store. Nothing like, you know. It wasn't like it was a team or maybe it's something from Atlanta or something from her hometown or something like that.
It was a bland,
this is a plain cap.
Black hat.
No thought.
And you try to get on his dressing.
No thought on that. So, the fact that she was missing the point with the bracelet. She's making it seem like, oh, you gave me this bracelet and now you want it back. You're an Indian giver, as people say, which is not a good term. Let me take that back. You making it seem like he wanted the bracelet back, but that wasn't the point. The point he was saying that I gave you a gift, and then you basically gave this gift to somebody else.
Where is my gift that I gave you?
If you really cared about it or thought it was as thoughtful or, you know, you would have taken that gift
it's 8
with
weeks
us.
Later. Where is the gift? Why my mother-in-law have it? Why your mama have it?
Exactly.
Please tell me why is she holding on my gift?
And she making all these excuses. Oh, the place was a lot of stuff, so I gave it to my mom and she ended up bringing it home. Okay, fine. I'll give you that. Why you ain't ask her to send it to you? And they done rolled the receipts and how many times that bracelet done came up.
If it's that all like that, you know what? I'm going to send it next day. Why you didn't do this before?
How hard was that? That took 5 minutes.
Why you didn't do this before?
If you care, you did that to be spiteful. She did it to be spiteful. Because she's like, then I was mad at you. So she was mad at him, was not unhappy in the relationship. She's like, I'm not going to get that bracelet. I'm just going to let it be. And I'm like, he is the principle of the whole thing. He gave you a gift. You just disregarded like it was nothing. So basically, as Dr. Pepper said, it's like you're rejecting him. You rejected his gift. You're pulling away from him. So you're rejecting him. It's like a no-win situation for him. And he's just basically done.
The man is done.
I told y'all last week, the man is done. He's just like basically just waiting till the decision day so he can say no.
He done. And he has the rights to be done.
And I feel like he gonna have a lot of stuff to say on decision day. I feel like he gonna be like, the shade tree is coming on decision day. I think that's gonna be it. I just feel like she had no empathy for him. She didn't care about how he was feeling. She didn't acknowledge the fact that he was hurt.
She always pulled away from Duke. From day one, seen it in the kiss. That's what really bothered him. The night of the honeymoon. And she was brushing her teeth in the shower. I'm coming in the room and I'm jumping in the bed to go to sleep. Who does that? What? Then you having arguments up and you pulled away from... You too much. Then you on the plane and you go over to the other side and sit. Now tonight episode, and you goes in the room and like, yo, why are you here?
She's a female version of Chris. I'm definitely, she needs to be getting all the heat that Chris is getting as well, because she's just as bad.
You whack.
He basically saying, you don't like me, you don't want to be around me, so why I want to get to know you for?
Exactly.
Why do you waste my energy? I'm not going to fake the funk. He's like, I'm not going to do it.
Why am I here?
The interesting thing is what she was saying, that as a child, her mother told her that she was required to see things through. And I was like, hey, that's why she's still in this marriage. Because she has that mentality, I'm just going to see it through the end. And both of them are just going to see it to the end. So they can see peace, sayonara, see you, I'm out.
She forever going to be a bridesmaid and...
Never a bride. She's a bride this time. She's going to be a divorcee. But the mama, oh my God, the mother was so, like, an enabler. Like, she just jumped right in it. And I was like, this is why Haley's the way she is. She needs to tell somebody to tell her about herself.
Mama, mind your business.
Like, mama, you should have been said that.
She's in my business. Can't you see? Your mom is trying to end this. Your mom's... Let's take your mom's among the business.
She should have been sent that bracelet back. I don't know. I'm done with them. They're done. I'm done with them. Let's move on. All right, so let's move on to Clara and Ryan. Clara, girl, y'all need to just stop faking the funk. Constantly still fake and phony, not showing their real true self. She had this whole heartfelt letter to herself, and his was like, I will not change anything. You're perfect, because I'm perfect. I was the perfect kid. I'm the perfect husband. I'm the perfect dog dad. I'm just perfect all around. Everything about me is perfect. Sure? You sure? I'm sure. Are you sure?
Sure.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Sure.
That's basically it. The whole scene with him, like, dude.
This dude is disconnected. He disconnected.
He's like a
himself.
robot.
He don't know what's going on in his brain. He don't know how to feel her feelings. He just some people just don't have that. Some people just don't have it. He don't know how to feel.
I don't know.
Hey, sure. Hey, what?
Everything's so calculated.
You want some water? Hey, Kate. Oh.
Everything's so calculated with him. Like, he wants to be portrayed in a certain way that it's like they can't be true.
Sure.
I don't know. But the interesting thing that I saw was like when he went to meet with her mom was like reassuring him that, hey, I didn't want to go to church until I had Clara. And after I had Clara, I was like, you know what? I think she needs to learn about church. So I'm going to start going to church so she could kind of have that upbringing. And he's like, oh, I hope that Clara is going to have that. And I was like, no, she ain't. She ain't going that way. I can't see it. I can't see her. She's so adamant right now about not raising her child in church that I can't see her changing her mind. So I was like, why did they go to Ryan's house though? To see his past. I wanted to see what Ryan was as a kid. They didn't show any of that. They only show her section. I was like, that was interesting. But they didn't show, like, yeah, he was the only one we didn't really see any pictures of him when he was younger or, like, get to find out about him. I was like, is he really that closed off? He didn't want to share that? Like, I don't know.
We have questions.
Yeah.
Have questions.
How was Ryan as a kid? The kid said, I was a good kid. Oh, he was perfect, he said. There's nothing to show. He was just perfect. He was a perfect kid.
He lifts his weights and that's it.
That's it. He had the same haircut. And I was like, is his hair permed? Because I was looking at the texture of his beard versus the texture of his hair.
Probably
like,
slick something.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? But the funny thing is that with Dr. Pepper was like, if you wanted to have sex tonight, would you? I was like, Dr. Pepper, you know her mind. She's like, hell yeah. I jumping bones on the couch right now. He said, let's have sex. Right in front of the cameras.
Dr. Pepper, turn around.
The cameraman, keep rolling because I might not get this again. I need to remember.
Man, oh man.
I don't know. But the funny thing is that she said she was asking for a guy.
She can't get past that. She can't get past that until she get it. Because she brings it up every week. 3 times in one show.
She don't bring it up to him. That's the thing. She tells everybody else except for him. But she did say in her interview, she said she asked for a guy that didn't want to have sex right away because her previous relationship, it became physical too quick. So I'm like, all these people asking for certain things, but they don't know. They don't really want that. Just like Erik asked for an independent woman. He didn't want no independent woman. She asked for a man that didn't want to have sex right away. She didn't want that. And poor Paige asked for a God-fearing man and got the devil. Lord Jesus. Y'all not doing real good this season.
So they asking for stuff that they can't handle?
Yeah, basically.
Oh my gosh.
They think they want one thing because it's different from what they had before. But when they get it, they realize they don't want it.
No.
Basically.
Oh my gosh.
I ain't got nothing else for them. They just still not being true and not really verbalizing what they feel. Ryan just gets, his reaction is just like, Even when she was talking, you could see that she was very emotional when she was doing the letter. I can't. When she was reading her letter to herself, you could see that she was going back in that moment and like feeling like emotional. And he was just like looking at her like, dude, do you have any kind of? I can't. All right, I ain't got that else on though. You got anything else on though?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh no. When I just remember when Dr. Pepper asked him about y'all gonna look back at this months from now and look and say, were we in love at that time?
Sure.
And I was like, what do you mean?
Sure.
Why would you say sure? That's what I say. That sure. Sometimes you don't know if he's saying sure that he agrees with what you're saying, or he just saying sure just to move the conversation along. So I'm like, how you gonna agree with that statement which you said that you never said you're in love? So how you gonna look back and say you're in love at that point?
When he's saying it, it's not the appropriate thing to say, because
he said that he don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I got you. I understand. But he's not saying that. He's saying sure. Like
that's just like people saying that's the same thing.
Yes.
All right. Anything else with them?
That is all.
All right. We're gonna go to Briana Vincent.
Mm-hmm.
And that opening with her to tap, I was like, oh Lord, is she taking him dancing again? Please no. I was like, why is Brianna taking this boy dancing again after that last time? But she was just showing him that she, that's her past. She was passionate about dancing, but she kind of gave that up and became an engineer because it's more lucrative. And dancing, she wasn't sure she was going to make enough money.
She wanted to make the loot.
Because you see that budget from last week, right?
Yeah, she got to fund that.
she got to keep up. So she was like, I needed that engineering money. And it was interesting to hear her talk about, her self-confidence and how it was low because she was a dark-skinned woman. And it's like, every time I hear those stories, I'm like, man, it's so crazy to still be feeling like that in this day and age, and the whole light skin versus dark skin issue. And I'm like, if Brianna felt like that when she was smaller, and I'm thinking about Paige, how Chris just totally dissed her last week, talk about it's her face. And I'm like, she's probably feeling like that now as an adult because of what he said about her.
Things won't change unless you let it change. People stuck in their ways and just don't want to understand the next person, where they coming from, because they caught up in their feelings. And what sometimes you have to step out of your shoes and get to know and get to understand what that next person is saying and feeling. Then you would truly start to understand, right? Mm-hmm. Start to understand people.
And it's also
humans.
It's also
they came up in a different way than you did.
It's also in our culture as well. Like it starts with us accepting all the shades of a black person and not just one shade, making one shade more superior than the other. So I decided we done went a different route with that, but I think that needed to be said. So she had to spoil it though. Like they had that nice little talk. She expressed she was vulnerable, talked about how she felt as a younger person, and then she gonna talk about having babies. It's gonna be a long time from now. And I was like, Virginia, why? Brianna, why
she
you
know
do
what
that?
She was doing. She know what she was doing.
This one over here got up pacing, talking about, here she go again.
She know what she was doing. She know what she is doing.
I'm like, another week, Brianna. Like, last week I had to get on you. This week I got to get on you again. And I'm like...
And then he had to break down and tell her, basically why he wanted kids and how he was brought up. And she's like, I understand them. And you got the right to, but I'm not...
Yeah, because he was basically, and I get his point, he was basically saying he didn't grow up with his mom and dad. He didn't have that family, dynamic. He grew up with his aunt. So he kind of want to create the family dynamic that he missed out on.
Yeah, he wanted, that he missed out on.
And she's trying to prevent him from getting that.
He want love.
But I'm saying they're so focused on that, though. I have to say, neither one of them know if they can have a baby. She might not be able to have a baby. He might not be able to have a baby. So we're banking on this. You know, I know when Dr. Pepper brought up the adoption, he was just like, no, because he wants his own blood child. I get that, but you don't know what might happen. You don't know what might happen. But I guess he's saying, let me cross that bridge when I get there. He don't want to just count out not having his own child right out the back. So I get that.
I didn't know he was raised by his aunt. Did he say that before?
No, it's the first. Because I know when they had the whole family over, her mom was there and his mom was there.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know why. It probably, maybe she was here. Maybe his mom was in the States. And he had to grow up with his aunt. Who knows? Maybe she was in a different part of DR. You know, when you're in the Caribbean, it's a whole different... People get raised by different members of the family sometimes.
But this episode didn't change my mind at all on how I thought about the couples and the individuals. It just confirmed that I don't think nobody making it.
I know Haley and Jacob's not making it. I know. Man. Well, we know Paige and Chris is already done. Clara and Ryan, I'm still holding out that Ryan was eventually not be a robot and catch some feelings and express it to her. Or maybe if she stopped satisfying him, maybe he'll then satisfy her. Who knows? Erik and Virginia, I'm still a toss-up. I can't decide one way or the other. It's still a toss-up for me. And Briana Vincent, oh, please, your only positive hope.
Listen, what you call it, trying to crash it by herself? I don't know what she
Yeah, Brianna, stop being so bossy.
You trying to knock...
Yeah, we didn't even talk about
the whole stuff, like...
The whole, when Dr. Pepper was talking about Vincent sleeping, I'm like, why is this an issue? Like, why has this even been discussed? If the man want to sleep, the man want to sleep. Why you need to have breakfast together?
And you just seen his face like...
That's such a, like...
Like, what is...
You're not, like, his body being tired, and you're, like, there's some couples that some people are morning people, some people are more night people. Like, when I wake up in the morning, I'm not waking him up on the weekends to get up, let's go ahead. No. If he's sleeping, he's sleeping. If I'm sleeping, I'm sleeping. Like, if you want to go make breakfast, go make breakfast. We don't have to wake up at the same time. Like, that's so stupid. And that's like, why is that even part of y'all discussion? It's just as stupid as Haley talking about Jacob wearing leisure clothes.
Maybe she need to get some more sleep, and then her blood pressure would drop.
I can't with you. She just kept blaming him, the fact that he stays on his phone and she's already sleeping. Like, maybe that's his little time he has to himself, because you want to be up under him. That's the thing. She just want to be up under him, and that's going to be annoying after a while. You need to give people space and some room to do what he want to do and sleep when he want to sleep. Like, come on.
Let his stomach get bigger.
No, that dude's stomach was looking mighty tight in that t-shirt. When they was in the Dominican store, I was just like, Vincent, you need to do some sit-ups. And you can see his face that he got a little chubby. Like, his cheeks is a little chubby. I can't talk, because if you look back at the previous videos from, like, in the summer till now, sister done put on some weight. COVID ain't no joke. I hear you, Vinny. It's COVID weight. Man, don't worry. Me and Vinny about to get on the program.
What program?
A weight loss program.
Gaining weight program?
I ain't gonna say that. Just because you can eat whatever you want and stay skinny. But anyway, the nerve of him, right? See, now you acting like Brianna.
I can't.
I'll be mad and storm out. Ask me what's wrong with me.
What's wrong with you?
Nothing.
Stupid. You
want to act like Brianna, I'm going to act like Vincent. All right, y'all. I think that's it for this episode. We'll see y'all next time. Make sure y'all share, like, subscribe. Tell us what you thought of this episode in the comments below. See y'all next time. Relationship Talk with Lloyds. It's the Lloyd Love Movement. Peace. Bye, y'all.